Welcome to Pie's Bakery. We hope you have a wonderful stay.
With the recording?
Yes, with the recording. And with that recording, hello everyone, and welcome to We Be Goblins 2. That's staying in. Welcome to We Be Goblins 2, the sequel to We Be Goblins, believe it or not. Shocker, I know.
Yeah, who would have thought?
To immediately begin, for my lovely party of goblins, you are the heroes of the Licktoad Tribe, living legends after you triumphed against the terrible goblin cannibal Vorka and recovered many fireworks from her lair. Your tribe used the fireworks to great effect, but one day while you were out scrounging for more fireworks, adventurers came into the swamp and wiped out your tribe. You returned to your home to find it in ruins. Now homeless, you have decided to travel to the closest tribe of goblins you know about, the Birdcrunchers. Maybe they'll have room for you to join. Only now that you've arrived in Birdcruncher territory, something seems wrong. The Birdcrunchers appear unusually nervous and frightened, cowering around the entrance to their cave. They aren't even trying to defend their territory. And now, a wrinkled old goblin with bulging eyes is waddling out of the crowd approaching you. She's obviously some sort of shaman, maybe even the chieftain. If anyone here knows whether or not you can join the tribe, it would likely be her. And as this wrinkled-looking goblin approaches you, walking on a hunch, leaned over a gnarled wooden staff decorated with dog tails and horse ears. She's wearing this ratty dog hide gown cinched with a rope belt from which hangs dog paws, a pair of horseshoes, and a fearsomely large dead sturge. And as she approaches you, she says, well, what have we here? Licktoads by the look of you, and from what I hear, orphans as well, Looking for a new place to live, I suspect. Well, you might be in luck, because we need new blood. Our own chieftains have been lacking in chieftanish ways. We've been having problems lately with an ogre and his fire-breathing boars, you see. And any goblins capable of killing the boars and driving off the ogre, or driving off the boars and killing the ogre, or whatever, well, they'll not only be welcomed into Birdcruncher territory with open arms, they'll be made chieftains one and all. And with that, the gathered Birdcruncher goblins suddenly begin to animate into cheers and song. Eager and excited, they surge out of the cave to welcome your group, their saviors, but suddenly freeze as the old woman shrieks out a command for silence. The goblins freeze in place, and she continues in a softer voice.
Alright,
we can't.
I cut out there for a second, so we missed like a bunch of that. I apologize.
Don't worry about it. She's gonna continue to say, but we can't just assume you're the stuff chieftains are made of. You might just be lucky. No. Before we accept you as our saviors, and before you'll even have a chance to face off against Pa Munchmeat and his pig, I declare we have a chieftain moot. And with that, the goblins all erupt into cheers. And you all know why. Chieftain Moot is a day-long festival of dares and games, which you have once participated in. A tradition among the local tribes when the need to select a new chief arises. And with the goings-on, you all can take it quite quickly that you are all going to be thrust into this Chieftain Moot to participate, as the older goblin known as Wise Mummy Sprattleharsh begins barking commands and orders, and the Birdcrunchers begin to scurry off to start organizing the event. Leaving you all with a moment of rest before the event truly begins.
Have they begun making the big fire? Are they making a bonfire?
There is a bonfire being made.
Well, Mogmarch makes a beeline over to it to help them
Of course he does.
Mm-hmm.
How about the rest of the goblins?
I think Rita's just flabbergasted that, we just wanted a home and now we're going straight into becoming a chief.
Yeah.
And the other two? What are the thoughts of Chuffy and Spoog?
Uh-oh.
Everybody with us?
Our Wi-Fi went out again.
Oh my
It
gosh.
just popped
Oh,
back.
no.
Yeah, I know. It was working just fine. I've been playing on.
It's the goblins,
on
man.
my
It's the
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi goblins.
Yep. Sure is.
Yeah, whatever we're doing, I'm down for it though.
Lovely.
Well, last thing Spook heard was talk of a bonfire. So
Mogmerch puts himself in charge of the fire.
Alright,
Throwing.
so Spoog joins the bonfire.
No, goblins, this is how you build a fire.
Says Mogmerch maniacally.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Throwing handfuls of pitch and tinder.
Mm-hmm. While Rita's just flabbergasted at, oh, we're gonna be potential chieftains now.
Mogmerch just took that as kind of a matter of course.
Hmm.
He's got quite the inflated ego.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Rita starts to bark at the bone cruncher goblins to start getting to work faster. I want to get this going.
And they do begin to move quickly, and we'll say by end of day, the settings are built and ready as a huge feast is held to begin the event that is set around the bonfire. There are eagle soup, charred grackle, raven's eye pudding, and various other delicious goblin goodies. And as you partake in the food, the wise mummy Spraddle Harsh comes out and brings out the fabled crunchy crown of the Birdcruncher tribe. A crown made out of bird skulls, bones, wings, and twigs. She places the crown near the bonfire and proclaims that soon the tribe will have their new chief, and that this chief will be able to kick that ugly munchmeat ogre out of Raven Roost. She then says that whoever can prove her worth at the moot will be granted the right not to only just loot the or not only to just wear the crunchy crown, but also to loot the chieftain's treasure chest. And at this, all of the other bird crunchers ooh and ah. As you all get ready to participate, you are told you must endure dares, as is the course of action. Whoever earns the most points across the dares will win and become chieftain. And as you all line up for the first dare, known as the Blind Bird Shoot, you are led to the center of a valley, blindfolded, and given a short bow and 3 arrows. And what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna go in order here for everyone. So why don't you guys roll me some initiative, please?
I got 14.
Alright. Who got 17, Chuffy with 15, Mogmert with 12, and Rita with 14. So, the way that this little event is going to work is that each contestant will be able to make a perception check to determine by sound where flocks of panicked birds are. There are 3 different flocks. I will let you know, yeah, okay, let's see here. So hitting the first flock is 1 point, hitting the second flock is 2 points, and hitting the third flock is 3 points. So as you are lined up, Hoog, let's see here. Do you want to aim for the first, second, or third flock?
Chieftain always goes big, so I'm going big. We're going for the 3rd slot.
Okay.
For the 3rd slot.
Roll me a perception. Alright. Roll me, let's see, what is a short bow use? Is it strength or is it dex?
Hex.
Dex? Alright, roll me a d20 plus your dex.
My dex modifier is 2. So an 8.
So as you're blindfolded and you fire off this arrow and you can hear it whistling through the valley, but as you hear it thud, the response back isn't one of cheer and happiness that you scored, but rather this shot earns you jeers and insults from the surrounding Birdcruncher goblins. As you can take it, you've missed.
I was just getting warmed up.
Chuffy, you're next. First, second, or third flock?
Chuffy will also go for the 3rd flock.
Alright, give me a perception, please. 21, okay, you think you have your aim down right. Now roll a d20 plus your dex.
I don't know where my dex is.
I believe you could add your base stack bonus too, if you have one, which you should probably do at 3.
Oh yeah, that works too. But still, just like Poog, that is a miss, which just gets more insults flown in the 2 of yours directions. Rita,
That's me.
first, second, or third?
You know I gotta go for the third.
Give me a perception.
That is a 19.
Alright, do the same as the others. Give me a d20 plus whatever bonus.
We're all
Okay.
going big, because if not, we don't got a home.
You already
I-
got a home.
I should be proficient in it. So, if you're allowing me to add base attack, which you don't
Yeah.
have to. Okay. Oh. 24.
Nice. I think you should be the chief.
24.
Mogmerch thinks it.
Now I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll one of these.
I got my big head paying attention.
Okay. I'm gonna say that I like lower numbers, so I will. You fire your arrow, and you can hear it make contact. You have successfully struck a seagull. You have 3 points currently. Mogmerch.
Okay, well, now obviously I have to go for the third one, so here's my perception.
Alright, you think you've successfully are able to hear the third and can target it.
Okay, so I don't know if alchemists are proficient with short bows, so I will just roll plus my dex.
Alright.
Yeah.
That is the third shot that ends up with insults and jeers towards these new potential chieftains. But luckily, everyone has 2 more arrows, so Poog, you're back up.
Poog's going for the third one again.
Alright, same business.
Where?
You don't hear nothing. You don't hear any of the potential flocks at all.
Can I still pick a direction and aim?
You know what? Roll a flat d20. No, nothing added, just a flat d20.
Got it.
The same exact thing happens. Except you don't know where you've aimed the arrow this time. All you know is that you shot somewhere, heard another goblin kind of shriek a little bit, and then start throwing insults your way.
I'm sure I'll be fine. Probably.
Chuffy, you're next.
Alright, guess Jeffy will try for 3 again.
Alright, perception. Alright, now roll your d20 plus... I think you have proficiency, so you can use your base attack bonus, which is... Let me find that. If my sheets will load, and Roll20 wants to cooperate with me. Okay.
That's always nice.
Rogue at level 3 is +1.
2.
2.
Yeah,
Okay.
2. Started at 0.
So as you fire, the shot comes dangerously close to hitting a goblin in the crowd, resulting in shrieks.
Oops.
Rita.
Okay, I'll come out to the center And while I'm doing that, before I blindfold myself, I shout out, "You bone crunchers better treat us better than this! We survived the attack!" And then I put on the blindfold and I fire.
Okay. So perception, or you want to do a blind fire, or you want to do the perception?
I mean,
What's funnier,
Uh,
really? What's more goblin?
I think a blind fire at like the first or second group makes more sense.
All right, so just roll the attack.
Just roll the attack. Love to. Oh, no way.
What'd you get?
I got a, you know how I got a 24 last time? I got a 23 this time.
Okay. So we favor low numbers here. That's not a low number. Roll me 1d20.
Okay. 20.
You got a 20?
I got a 20.
You're joking.
No. I mean, I could take a picture, but I
Yes,
moved
please.
the die.
I
Okay,
mean, I
okay,
believe
okay.
you, but I want to see the die anyways. That's insane.
Here, I'll show you I'll take a picture of the 17 to attack and the 20 following it.
So, this is rolled on the missed shots table. And you got a 20.
Yeah, I did.
So here's what happens. The shot is miraculous. Perhaps it hit 3 seagulls. Maybe it hits an entirely different bird that just happened to fly into range. Maybe it pins a seagull to an observing goblin. It does say to be creative, so I'm gonna ask you, what does your miraculous shot do? What does it look like?
So these flocks, do they like start on the ground and then like fly out or something?
They do. They start
Okay.
on the ground and then are startled into the air.
So I didn't wait for that, clearly. I was insulting the crowd and then I just fired. And like you said, there was a wayward bird of their own volition coming by. I fire in that general direction. It doesn't kill that bird, but it it ricochets off of that bird, making the arrow go wild, and then it strikes down into the ground where the birds were still waiting.
And as it performs this feat of amazement, Mummy Sprattle Harsh is so delighted at this that she up and rewards you with 10 points. So Rita is up by 13. Log merch. And this is
doesn't play around!
this is met by cheers from all of the goblins.
Obviously.
Yes, Rita. Rita's the next great chieftain, and Mogmerch will serve!
As the fire captain.
Yes.
So does Mogmarch want to take the shot, or are they going to concede?
He's gonna go ahead and give her the old shot. He can't not do it. Yeah.
All right, roll your attack.
And then barely gets to the flock itself.
Roll me a d20 on the missed shots roll. On the missed shots table. 13.
Number.
The shot comes dangerously close to hitting a goblin in the crowd, resulting in shrieks.
I gesture rudely at them.
Poog, final arrow. Can you make something?
Poog's still going for the third bunch.
Alright. Okay. Roll your attack. Alright, low numbers are your friend. That is not a low number. Roll me 1d20. Oh, so close. However, I'm gonna roll something. So as you're aiming, and you fire off the arrow, your arrow hits into the side and pierces into Mogmerch for 3 points of damage, and you are awarded with 3 points.
Rita screams.
So down to 20.
I imagine you do the thing, Poog, where you hear the screech and you slowly lift up the blindfold with one eye to see what happened.
He'll be alright. Probably.
Well, at least you're coming out of this with 3 points. Chuffy, final arrow.
Who's on the board, baby?
So I'll try 3
You're welcome.
again.
Alright, roll perception. Alright, now roll d20 plus 2.
Oh, what was that?
Alright, well, we'll take the 18. We want low numbers. That's a low number.
That's just about
Very
as
low
low as
number.
You hit the seagull, and Chuffy is on the board with 3 points.
Woo.
Woohoo!
Rita, final arrow.
Okay, so, Rita is high up in Dorvins or whatever, and is gonna blind fire it a second time.
Okay.
That's a 13 this time.
13, roll me a d20 if you get another one, I swear.
I won't. Yeah, that's a 3.
A 3. This time, the shot just kind of peters out like a couple feet in front of you, and you are insulted by a mass amount of goblins. You went from getting all the cheers to now getting all the insults, just like the others were.
Quiet, fools! You will show respect!
No! No! I'm the chieftain!
They all laugh at you. Mogmerch, final arrow.
Alright, let's do the whole thing.
Alright, roll your attack. Now roll a d20.
Oh boy. Ooh, nice.
So how does your miraculous shot happen?
So part of Mogmerch wants to just fire into the crowd since they're talking shit about Rita, but and he does, and he shoots at the crowd, but manages to miss somehow and knock. My other rolls weren't that big, so knock 2 seagulls out of the third one.
Well, hey, part of the miraculous shot is pinning seagulls to an observing goblin, so maybe as you fire, you get 2 seagulls, and it stabs, the final landing blow, it stabs into a goblin.
Nice.
And with that, as the end of the blind bird shoot comes to an end, our standing is Rita at 13, Mogmerch following behind at 10, and then Poog and Chuffy tied for 3 points.
Poog's just happy to be on the board.
As the first game comes to an end, you are taken to the second game, a game called the Sturge Swamp Stomp. You are taken to a low valley that has subsided into a permanent swamp of nasty standing water. What clearly is a failed attempt by the Birdcrunchers to build a bunch of huts on stilts left behind a haphazard arrangement of wobbly posts protruding from the boggy ground. They have laid wooden planks across several of these posts, creating narrow bridges that stand 10 feet off the ground. In this dare, you will begin on the southern shore of the bog, and you are fitted with wide, clumsy, and human boots. There are sturges tied to a 5-foot tether on each of the red posts, which you will see in a second. And the goal of the game is to kill as many sturges as possible, preferably by stomping, which will qualify as an unarmed strike, without falling into the swamp below. I'm going to move you all to a map in a moment. Going to shrink some tokens down just so they fit better on my lovely little map. So welcome to the Sturge Stomp. Each of the red posts are a sturge. Killing a sturge earns a goblin 2 points. If you fall off the planks, which are these, you are disqualified. It is an acrobatics check to move along the planks. And the dare ends automatically as soon as only one goblin remains, or all of the sturges are dead. So, as we begin, I would like everyone to re-roll initiative, please.
Hello. Love having a high dexterity sometimes.
Rita gets a 16. Okay.
Oh, right, we have tokens. My bad.
You're good. Mogmerch, you are up first. To cross the beams, it is... I'll tell you the DC. It is a DC 7 acrobatics check.
Well, I got a roll above a 3. Here we go.
Wow, that was close.
Yeah, it really was.
So you are able to, for each plank, it will be a new roll. So you are able to cross this plank, and if you want to move to either of these two, I'm actually going to turn off the grid so we're not snapping onto anything. You can begin moving across this plank, or this plank actually, or the third one over here. Any of them on the shore. And to cross another one, it is another acrobatics. And then, like I said, to hit a sturge, it will be an unarmed strike.
And the red dots are the sturges? Is that how
The
it
red
works?
dots are indeed the sturges.
Alright, here comes another acrobatics.
You can make it to the sturge.
And then, so... Let's see. That would just be a melee roll, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Where?
Yeah, a 3 will not hit the sturge. But I'm going to say that, because it really doesn't say otherwise, I'm going to say they are tied up. They're, tethered to these posts. So I will give them, they're not going to get chances to try and fight back any of you guys. So quite literally, this is just let's kill Sturges and see who can get the most points.
Right.
Poog, you are up next.
Who's gonna run down this one right here in front of him? Hopefully.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
All right, you can make it to the end of that one.
And can I jump over to where's the thing?
Yeah.
How do I do it? There, that one.
Give me another acrobatics. Yes, you can make it over, and if you want to make a melee strike against that Sturge, you may do so. That I don't think will hit.
Got me. Tied up bird strong. A sturge is a bird? Oh.
Sturges are kind of like giant bat-like mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's a really good description.
Sounds terrifying.
They are quite gross. Rita.
Yep. As are mosquitoes.
Mhm.
Alike.
Okay, how far could I theoretically go?
I will say
Like
for
in this-
everyone, I will give everyone 2 acrobatics checks.
Okay, so if I were to start up on the other side, that'd be okay?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do this. And I also assume that I have taken my armor off for this.
That can be a fair assumption for everyone.
Okay.
If they wish. If
That's an
armor
18
impedes you.
acrobatics.
You can make it.
Womp, 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 womp. Why, hello, bird. Stomp. And just a melee?
Yep.
Oh. No, that's a 9.
No. You do not strike. Chuffy, back. Well, not back to you. It's you first time. I will say while you do get 2 acrobatics, I will say each person's turn will end with attacking a Sturge.
Sure, I guess.
You are very quiet.
I don't know, I guess I'll jump on the same one that over here.
Alright. Roll acrobatics. Alright, you can make it to the Sturge. And you can try and steal Mogmerch's kill. Roll melee. There should just be a little melee button on the sheet. Let's see. Grappled reduces your AC a little, doesn't it? Because they are technically grappled.
Yeah.
Or restrained, even.
Even more so.
So then I think that one will hit. And so with that, I need to look at something. Okay, so with that, roll me 1d2 plus your dexterity modifier.
What do you want me to roll?
Type /r space 1d2 in the chat. Like that. Or slash.
Slash first.
Yeah, the slash
R.
first, and then the R, and then space 1d2.
Indeed.
There you go. So Chuffy comes barreling down behind you, Mogmerch, and with a big stomp of their human boot, takes your kill.
That's okay.
So Chuffy is on the board with 5 points.
Woo!
Mogmerch.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump over to this one right here.
And I realized I needed to employ this. I didn't want to do it at the end there. The human boots that you are wearing do add a -2 penalty to acrobatics.
Oh.
Which we are adding now because it's the start of a new turn.
That does make sense, yeah.
Alrighty. So let me just roll that acrobatics plus, and then it's the -2 to what I roll. So. Oh, okay. So I go.
Uh-oh.
Off Mogmerch goes and into the bog, and Mogmerch must do the walk of shame back to the shore as they are eliminated.
No shame in his
Disqualified.
No shame in his game.
Ooh,
Rude gestures as he comes back over here.
no shame, but definitely a lot of rude gestures, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Poog, you are up.
You stupid bats, die already! I'm gonna stomp at it again.
Alright, roll melee. Oh, let me look at my Sturge. Yeah, they're restrained. I'm gonna say that hits. Roll roll a d2 plus your dexterity. Listen, here in We Be Goblins, we kind of skirt around the rules a lot more than in any other scenario of Pathfinder.
Yeah,
We're being goblins, you know what I mean?
we're having fun.
You kick this Sturge, and it is just barely hanging on.
Kill two, Chuffy!
Rita.
Might as well get that, get those points. I'll stay right here and I'll stomp. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Gotta crush this Sturge. Ha! I guess I'm better with a bow and arrow. That's a 5.
I'm gonna say even with negatives, that's probably not gonna do it.
No, I don't think so.
So that is gonna be your go. Chuffy, you're up.
Chuffy will jump over, or try to jump over here to get to this one.
Alright, roll acrobatics. Yeah, you are able to make it over. And if you want to attack, roll your melee. That's gonna hit, so we'll roll 1d2 plus your dex. believe even still there, you're with your modifier, you stomp another Sturge, and you are now up 7 points.
Ooh.
Poog.
I'm gonna stomp this the same one again.
Alright. That'll do it. You didn't even have to roll. It's on 1 HP. You are up to 5 points now. And I'll give it a little X. Rita.
I'm starting to shout goblin swears at this Sturge. Stomping time. There we go. It's a 20.
Yes, roll your melee plus dex.
The 1d2, right?
Yep. That's what I meant.
Okay, that's 4 damage. I rolled a 1.
It is barely hanging on. This Sturge, if it could flip you the Sturge, it would.
Still loud-mouthing the Sturge. Okay, turn over.
Chuffy, you're up.
Chuffy will come down here and get this.
Alright, roll me in acrobatics. Alright, roll your melee. Yeah, roll. I mean,
Awesome.
I don't think I'm gonna ask for it. I think you're just gonna kill it.
Yeah.
Chuffy is stomping Sturges. Chuffy
Chuffy, a happy goblin screech.
is up to 9. Catching up to Rita. Poog, you're up.
Who's gonna run down to this one?
Give me an acrobatics.
Good.
And as you're running, Poog, you turn around mid tipping. I'm gonna ask this, Mogmerch. You see Poog fall. Do you like slow-mo wave at him? Like, this is all slow-mo for Poog right now, and he turns and sees you.
Going, oh! Like that, I think.
And as that happens, Poog splash into the swamp, and you must walk back. As you are disqualified.
Mogmerch will help Poog up when he's climbing up onto the thing here.
Onto the shore.
Sorry for hitting you with that arrow earlier.
Water under the bridge. We fought in combat together.
Rita, you're up. There's 2 left.
Yes, a continuous flurry of screams and shouts and creative goblin swears that everyone can hear on account of my large goblin head. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Yep. And if you can do
Right.
1 damage, it'll die.
Crunch.
I believe you are now up 15 points. Chuffy.
I'll do an Chuffy will do an acrobatics to jump over here to get this.
Go for it. Yes, you can. Roll your melee. I think I allowed an 11 last time, so I'm gonna take a 10, because, again, we be goblins. We be not really paying attention to the rules all too much.
It's a bit of fun.
Which is a very goblin thing to do. So roll a d2 plus your dex. You squish this Sturge And you are now up by 11. Rita.
Woo! Okay, let's
We
see
have
if
a
I
competition here, folks.
can. Let's see if I can make this jump.
And it is the minus
With the-
2,
Yes.
which
With a
I
grand total
been-
of +1.
I have been figuring in for Chuffy, but Chuffy's been rolling amazingly well. Because if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, Chuffy's also the rogue of the party.
Oh, absolutely.
And 8.
But I got an 8.
And that's with the minus 2.
That is with the -2.
Alright, you successfully make it over. Just barely, though. Maybe you tip over a little bit, but you catch yourself.
I grab onto the sturge for balance, and I thank the sturge, and then I look at the sturge and I stomp it!
Thank you. Just kill you.
21.
Yes, D2 plus Dex.
5.
5. You squish the sturge that saved you, and you are now up 17.
Yeah.
Chuffy.
Chuffy's gonna come stomp on this one over here.
Alright, roll acrobatics. Yep, you are able to make it over. Roll melee. Roll a D2 plus Dex.
Whoops, my bad. Did that backwards again.
Flipped him.
You squash it. Chuffy has really good Dex. And so Chuffy is up to 13. Rita.
Well, I'm gonna waddle on over to the other side of this board.
You know what I'm gonna ask for.
Yes. Yes, of course. That's a 19 acrobatics.
You can make it.
Much easier to walk than it is to jump. And now let's squash a bug! Jesus. Yeah, that's a total 20.
That'll do it. A total of, not a critical.
Yes.
Okay.
That's 4.
It is barely hanging on.
Yeah, I got a 50-50 chance of killing him outright.
Chuffy.
Alright, Chuffy will jump over here.
Alright, acrobatics. That'll do it. That'll hit.
Woo!
Woo!
I like that. Is that actually Rita's reactions? I like that Rita's actually cheering on, despite wanting to win.
Well, yeah. The only one I was actually mad at was, the first Sturge.
Alright, 1d2 plus Dex. It's very funny as you said that. My thought was that, as you said, love ya, my thought was love ya, but I'm gonna crush ya. That'll kill, and you are up to 15. Ooh, Chuffy's close behind. Rita, can you finish this one off?
Oh, certainly I can. 12.
That will do it. And you just need to do 1 point of damage.
Oh, yes, I do. That one's mine. I cackle after this one.
You are up to 19. Alright. Do I want to make things interesting now that we're on the final 2 Sturges?
Of course you do.
Okay. We're gonna make things interesting. I'm gonna allow everyone 2 moves. So Rita, you can move to another post.
Oh,
And yes,
thank you.
if you want to make this jump, you certainly can.
Wonderful. I probably will make that big old jump. With my grand total of +1 to acrobatics, that's 15.
You make it.
Yay!
You didn't move at all, so you can get a second jump. That's technically your first.
Wonderful. If you would allow me to, I would get over here.
If you can.
Of
You
course,
never
of
know.
course.
You might fall.
That fell off the my die fell off the table. What was the DC again?
You needed to make a 7.
I got a 7.
You got an exact 7?
I got
Whoa.
6 + 1.
Minus
6
2.
+ 3 -2.
Okay. That is a close one. You barely make it. Chuffy. Now here's the question. Do we count moving to this one as an acrobatics? What do we think, goblins?
I'd say so.
Come on,
Move
peanut
one-
gobblery.
Alright, well,
Yeah, the peanut gobbler.
I'll say it is then. Chuffy, if you want to get to that one, I will take an acrobatics.
Okay.
You can make it there. Give me a melee. That will hit. Give me a D2 plus your dex. That is down. There is one left. It is very, very close. If Chuffy gets this last one, they will be tied. So Rita really needs this. Chuffy, you do get one more move.
Okay. I will jump over here if I can.
Give me an acrobatics. Yep, you're able to make it. Rita.
I think my legs in my human boots are starting to get a little shaky. Here's my last jump. Ooh, it's shaky, but it's an 18.
You make it.
Okay. Let's see if we can pull this off. That's an 18 total to hit
Yep.
and a 50-50 chance. Okay, that's 5 damage.
And with that, the competition ends. And now, despite this being 2 events, you know, this was like an all-night thing. You know, it wasn't just, oh, we spent, 10 minutes on the last one and 10 minutes on this one. These have been, like, hour-long games. You know, you've been going from game to game. It's taken up your night, so it's not a short thing like we're making it out to be in the terms of a role-playing game.
Of course not.
But the competition does end, and with the competition over at the end of this dare, you are... I'm going to move us to the cover, as you are brought back into the goblin camp, and Wise Mummy Sprattleharsh counts up the points, and as she finishes the counting, she walks up to you, Rita, and places the crunchy crown on your head, congratulating you for becoming the new chieftain of the Birdcruncher tribe. With this honor, not only do you now rule over the Birdcrunchers, but again, you get the honor of looting the chieftain's stash, as well as selecting other goblins who competed in the dares, if you wish, to be sub-chieftains.
I get 3 sub-chieftains.
Indeed.
This is perfect.
And the Crunchy Crown does have a benefit. It gives you a +2 to intimidation rolls against all Birdcruncher Tribe goblins. As the games come to an end, the rest of the Birdcrunchers are in a celebratory mood. They have a new leader, after all. Some of the goblins come up to you, Rita, and prostrate themselves before you, and actually all of your sub-chieftains, and they begin kissing you, kissing your feet, and they have runny noses while they cry. Others scream and sob and bring you all gifts of food and other offers of goblin frolicking. Goblin after goblin come forward to you all to try and impress you by juggling live stoats, head-butting stumps, and one of them, which Mogmurch, sub-chieftain of the Big Fires, impresses you the most likely. Some other of the goblins try to impress you all by setting themselves on fire.
Yes.
You would know that goblins are not the most fond of discussion, so goblin chiefs tend to have absolute power over their followers, allowing you to command them how you wish.
You were all making fun of us. All night.
Hoog was
And
thinking
now-
the same thing.
And now you come crawling, as it should be.
We should skin the ones that laughed at us.
Skin.
Well, they all did a little, so perhaps we can just treat them more cruelly.
Ignore my sub-chieftains. They can all lose a little bit of skin.
As you all are devising torture plans for the goblins who have insulted you, Wise Mummy Sprattleharsh would take you all aside and into the Chieftain Cave, where you are presented with the Chieftain Treasury. She would also tell you all that while you are more than welcome to make your goblins atone, they will still expect you to head to the Munchmeat farm and deal with the problems that are plaguing the Birdcruncher tribe. And should you choose not to, they may not take your new rule in kind. But she does
And
open...
if you will come with us.
She says she must stay behind to watch over the goblins.
This one needs a mount.
The new chieftains are gone, and she opens up the chieftain treasury for you all. Inside it is 840 gold pieces and various goodies. Four potions of cure moderate wounds. One potion of fire resistance, which, oh my gosh, I wonder if that's going to be useful. Look at the cover art. There's no fire at all. A wand of lesser restoration with 9 charges. A +1 flaming dog slicer. A small cloak of elven kind. a beat of force. This is gonna be this next item is gonna be fun for a very certain someone, as it is a type 1 necklace of fireballs. You know who you are. And 5 ounces of sovereign glue. And as the night comes to an end, we'll deal with divvying up items another time. Likely in part 2 of this adventure, because I think we'll be doing a 2-parter here.
Woo!
But as night comes and the celebrations end, you are all able to find rest within the goblin camp and wake up in the morning. And as you wake up after divvying up goods, after becoming the new chieftains of a tribe, I have to ask, before you depart to the Munchmeat farm, does Rita or any of your sub-chieftains have any speeches to give to your tribe as they watch you prepare to leave?
Sure. I'll approach whatever goblin podium there is. I'll head high and arms behind my back, and there's no music, but there's definitely music in my head. And I say, to my fellow bone crunchers, we're better than you! And then I leave the podium.
Ha!
Cackling from
He would just
mug
laugh.
merch.
And you know what? They cheer for that. They cheer for you. As you set off towards the Munchmeat farm, which you are told lies about 2/3 of a mile from the village that you are currently in. And as you begin walking, as birds fly, it's not too far. It's about an hour-long walk through the farm, but it is helpful that Wise Mummy Sparrowharsh has a map for you. It is crude, but accurate, it seems, as you begin walking the woods towards the farm. You're about 45 minutes into your walk. You're nearly there. You can just about see the edge of the farm in the distance. But as you begin approaching, out of the brush rushes you a very large boar of some kind. It is angry, it has death in its eyes, and it is covered in makeshift armor. You may place yourself where you would like on this map. I just kind of put you in random spaces, but this would kind of be the distance as we get into our first fight of We Be Goblins 2 and roll initiative. As you get to test out your new goblins, and I get to use my new and improved Dice Cam. Hello, Dice Cam. I'm waving at you. Let me roll for Piggy. That's his name. Let me do that. You guys are fighting Piggy. Mogmerch, you are now Mogmerch Chieftain, a sub-chieftain of Big Fire. Remember that.
I will.
You have a new name change.
I do indeed.
So let me roll for Piggy. Is that music good now, Arita?
Yeah,
Would you
it's
like it
better.
lower? Okay. Oh! My dice fell out of the dice cam. I roll again. Alright, dice cam can see that, I think, or is it upside down? I'm not sure. Whatever. Piggy got a 4. Rita, you are up first as this large boar comes charging through the brush.
Yes. Hey friends, would I have gotten the flaming dog slicer?
I mean, I would think that the chieftain gets to pick whatever they want, so sure.
Okay.
I would like to, as the boss or the sub chieftain of Big Fire, I would campaign to get the necklace of fireballs.
I think that makes sense.
All right.
Because there is at least 10 feet, I'm gonna charge it!
Okay.
+1 flaming dog slicer, which I don't think has an additional 2 attack bonus off of like a masterwork. But it does get that extra little bit.
And it's flaming.
And it's flaming!
Which I like to imagine is kind of like, not that it's super hot, but quite literally the blade is always on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm picturing it.
So that is a 16 to hit.
A 16 to hit Piggy bounces off the creature's armor.
Okay. So be it.
Alright, and that is your turn?
Yes.
Chuffy, you are up.
I guess Chunky will run up on the side and try to get it with its dog slicer.
Okay.
And I just hit the 1d4 next to it.
Hit the dog slicer name.
Okay.
That will not hit. It bounces off the armor of this large boar. Mogmerch.
Well, I think, let's see. Necklace of Fireballs is difficult. So, let's see. Type 1 Necklace of Fireballs. That's expensive. Well, I guess I'll start out with a vial of... Let's see, what is the range on alchemical fire? Alchemist's fire, let's see.
Range increment of 10 feet.
Okay, so... I suppose I would need to get right here then, huh? To hit it with it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a ranged...
A ranged touch attack.
Ranged touch attack, okay. So, yes, range. So that's ranged. Meh.
That will do it.
Hit. Oh, it will. Okay, sweet. So that's a D6 then.
A direct hit deals 1d6 points of fire damage. On the round following a direct hit, the target takes an additional 1d6 points of damage.
Nice, max damage.
Max damage, alright. You're starting to burn this little piggy.
And I do believe that's my go.
Alright. Poog!
Poog is gonna step over here, and then Poog is gonna throw a javelin at this little piggy's nose.
Okay. A 24 will strike into and through the armor of the piggy for 3 damage. Okay. Piggy's turn. Piggy is going to do exactly what its token looks like. And it's gonna belch flame. You guys are fighting a fire-breathing boar. I'm gonna need Mogmerch and Rita to give me reflex saves, please.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a little reflex.
18.
18. Okay, so you will be taking half damage of this. You are still going to get burned. The Master of Fire is being burned. That one fell off the table. Okay. Because I always round up no matter what the game is. That is 11 points of damage, halved to 6 points of damage to the both of you of fire variety. And then Piggy ends his turn. Rita, you are back up.
Okay. Let me take a quick look. Yeah. I will use a move action to retrieve the potion of fire resistance.
Okay.
I will also drink that potion as my standard action.
Okay, you may do so.
Yay!
And that is your go about.
That's my go about.
Choppy.
I guess I'll swing at it again.
Alright. That will hit. And yeah, I'll say it's not like looking at you. I'll give you the sneak attack. Because I want to see the new stuff. Even if it doesn't make sense to give you sneak attack, you guys have new levels. I want to see the new stuff. So you should see sneak attack in your attacks. Just click on that.
Gotcha.
So that will be 7 points of damage.
Extra, so 10 total to the piggy.
Because Rita is so kind, I do think Piggy will take an attack of opportunity at Rita for grabbing their stuff. Thank you for informing me. I figured that was the case, but I didn't want to say it and be wrong, like a loser. So thank you for informing me.
Yeah.
I will take that attack of opportunity as Piggy is going to try and gore you, Rita.
Ooh.
Piggy's gonna miss you horribly with a natural 1.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah.
All worth it. Now you guys can move freely, probably.
Mogmerch.
Okay, so is it on my turn or his turn that he takes the damage?
Let us see. On the round following a direct hit, the target takes... So I think just... I'll say... It just says on the round, so I'll say at the top of yours.
Okay, cool.
So
I'll
that
roll
is
right
an
now then.
additional D6. 3 more fire.
All right, and so let's see. I think I'll switch up to some acid now.
Ooh.
I think it's pretty much the same deal, rolling wise. Let's see. So let's get in here and then some acid.
Treat this attack as a ranged touch, so same deal.
Yep.
And he's big enough not to worry about the splash damage.
Right. That's probably not gonna make it.
That will not miss. So I'll say you throw it, but like I'll be kind and say it splashes right behind him and like far enough away that it really doesn't do anything.
Fair. Very fair. And that'll be my go.
All right, Mr. Poog.
Poog will take another step this way, and he'll fire his last javelin.
That will not strike the piggy. Piggy's gonna try and gore you, Rita.
Okay.
That is a 17.
No.
Your turn.
I got lots of armor. And a big flaming sword! Oh, don't fall off. He didn't fall off. That's a 20 to hit.
That will just strike the armor.
Woo! Okay, so what does that mean? That means this plus 2 plus this. Okay, so that's 3 slashing damage and 5 fire damage.
So for a total of 8.
Correct.
Piggy is looking hurt.
And I'll take a 5-foot step to the side.
Alright. Chuffy, you're up.
Would Chuffy be able to jump on top of it, or probably not?
You can give me an acrobatics, and if it's good enough, I'll give it to you. You can jump on top of Piggy.
Nice. I'm gonna try to stab it in the head or the neck, wherever it lands. I just feel the pig's not standing still, so.
That will hit, and I will give you your sneak attack as well.
Nice.
How do you want to kill Piggy?
Hell yeah.
Chuffy will quickly jump on top of Piggy and just, as the knife goes up, Chuffy will just start screaming and plunge the knife into its head.
And as you stab downwards like a mad goblin, you feel the weight of Piggy collapse to the ground, with you on top. And with Piggy dead and the Munch Meat Farm visible in the distance, we're going to call that part 1 of We Be Goblins 2. So part 1 of 2 of 2. And we shall see what the now Birdcruncher chieftains and sub-chieftains get up to in the next one. But for now, that is part 1 of We Be Goblins 2.